What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming back to the channel. We got Mumbo Razz back in the building. What's up, bro?
Good to be back.
Good to be back and in the new space.
Yes.
We're going to talk about video games or video game franchises that we think deserve a reboot, a sequel, or to be just breathe some life into it. Even if it's, like bringing like a classic game to the new consoles for a download or something like that. So we'll start off with you. What do you got first?
Okay. So I have to go with the Mother series.
Mother series.
Over in the West, the furthest that we got was Earthbound, which was a great game, but I'd love to see at least the rest of the world get Mother 3, or realistically, like, can we get a new game for everybody, like remaster any one of the three of those games, Earthbound 0, Earthbound, and Mother 3, remaster any of those, put them out for the people to be like, oh yeah, this is something people would like, and then make another goddamn game.
So that's Earthbound and Mother are the same series.
Yeah, so
I'm unfamiliar with
in Japan, it's like, I think they just have like Mother 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. Over here, it's like Earthbound 0, Earthbound, and Mother 3 we haven't officially gotten. So all we got, pretty much outside of Japan, we just have Earthbound 0 and Earthbound.
Oh, okay. So it starts off with like you want us to get Mother 1 through 3, basically.
Yes, I'd love to, like, if that's how they want to do it, I'd love to see them honestly remaster or just even port over any of those over to, like, the Switch. Because I know they have Earthbound and Zero on, like, I think as early as, like, Wii U. But it's like, I'd like to see a physical copy of those bad boys on the Switch just to kind of get a feel for, like, if there's still demand. And then when there is, make another freaking game.
Yeah, that would be good. I don't know too much about that series. I hear it's funny because like I hear it referenced in like gaming YouTube videos and podcasts and stuff, but I've never played it. So I'm gonna guess, is the first Earthbound for SNES wicked expensive?
It is, because they bundled it with the player's guide, so the box itself is huge.
So what would one of those? Do you know the price about? Not complete in box for SNES cartridges. What would be like? It's like 150.
Are you talking for just the cartridge?
Yeah. Can I get it for under 100?
I don't think so. I think probably the low end, maybe
just the cartridge.
150 for just the cartridge.
150.
And you know what's funny is like they put Ness from Earthbound in the original 12 for Smash Bros. So our friend Nick, shout out to Nick Capello, he actually got into Earthbound because Ness was his main in Smash. And I'm like, that makes me so proud that
it was a reverse.
Yeah, people are finding out about this game from Smash.
That's you know what's funny is Ness is one of those characters. When I played Smash, I had no idea what he was from.
Yeah.
Apparently, a bunch of other people did too.
So, what do you have for your? What is your game?
I have a few that in mind because we each have a couple.
Yeah.
I want to go with one that is like, I wouldn't say it's going to piss people off, but people might be like, really? Just because it's a game that I think if they made a modern day one, it could be really cool.
Yeah.
And that's Jet Moto. The original PlayStation, I believe, no, I'm like almost certain Jet Moto 1 was a launch title. We've played it before.
I think that was one on Xbox.
Nope, you're thinking of Jet X2O.
Oh, okay.
That's a great game too. Jet X2O is a great game too. But I just feel like I'm big into racing games, but not like, I'm not into Forza or Gran Turismo. I'm not into like Need for Speed that much. I like Hot Pursuit. Obviously, Underground back in the day was great, but I'm not into the modern stuff. Jet Moto was hover bikes, and you were racing hover bikes around. So you go off huge jumps, and you weren't on the water, you weren't on the land. It was a hover bike. And I think if they did modern day technology, modern day graphics, added in the kart aspect of weapons and like speed ups and power boosts, I think that would be wicked cool. And that's not like, I also pick it because it's like, I could say other titles like Earthbound or Mother and stuff, like those are like massive games, like people love them and stuff. And my next one is like that too. But I wanted to give this credit because it's like, dude, they just don't make like, no big company is going to make a hover bike racing game.
Yeah, everybody's playing it safe right now.
Yeah, they're making stuff like Gran Turismo or Forza because it's a proven formula. We got to make the profits. We don't want to make games, we want to make profits. And Yeah, I think a modern day hover bike racing game, like a championship tournament, like tube slider.
Oh, nice name drop. Definitely check that out for anybody who hasn't. Tube Slider on GameCube. It's a great
That's
game.
one of my favorite. One of my things is futuristic racing games. So Tube Slider and Jet Moto is considered because they're on hover bikes. Granted, not a lot of the most of the levels aren't too futuristic, but there are a couple of hardcore like in space levels.
Yeah.
And I think with like imagine a modern day Jet Moto, still hover bikes, but it played like Tube Slider with Tube Slider looks so good on GameCube.
It does.
That's one of the best looking games on GameCube, in my opinion. And I think another thing I always like about the futuristic racing games, there's a bunch, but it's like they usually have a really good speed factor. They usually have crazy neon lights, great aesthetic. The way the ships are shaped is so futuristic. It's very visually futuristic art, and just the way they play, like the futuristic weapons, the motors. In Extreme G, another sick name drop. That's a futuristic regular motorcycle, but futuristic. There's these electricity bands that go from side to side, and they shoot at the wall, and no one can pass you. So like it locks your position, and so if you get first place and you're like 300 feet from the finish, and people are riding on you, you throw that up, and they can't pass you. Yeah. So yeah, I'd go to Jet Moto. That's a game literally no one watching would think about. So
Nice.
That's pretty much why I had to say it, but. I got another one that's a big banger that everyone's going to be like, yeah, totally. That has to come out. But,
Yeah.
All right, so what's number 2 for you?
Number 2, and I think you'll agree with this, Xenogears.
Yes.
That game, as beautiful as it is, there was just not enough time to finish that. So I would almost dare to say, put that game out finished, again, to kind of feel the market, which I think would take off. And then when it gets the numbers that you're looking for, give us Xenogears 2. A lot of people might say, Xeno Saga is in the realm.
I think that would sell well.
It's like, I want a real Xenogears 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that would sell well, because everyone I know from that era loved that game. I've never heard someone say they played through it fully and didn't like it. Or even played it and didn't like it.
It was so fun. Like, if you know, just the concept of, like, the mechs, Mortal Kombat style fighting where it's like you unlock combos, and then the mech fights was equally enjoyable.
Yeah. Rub it in, why don't you? Some more. I've been telling him, I was like, that's like, I always play RPGs in the winter typically. This winter I've been busy, but I've wanted to play Xenogears for years, and now complete in box copy is obviously like over $100.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
I think bare minimum it's like 80 or 90. Last time I checked, but I haven't checked in a while, so. God forbid it could be.
Feel free to let us know in the comments, because I know I played it on PS3. I did the digital download on PlayStation Network. So I'm curious if anybody knows if you can get it on, like, maybe PS4 or PS5 digital download, because that is definitely a good game.
I could do that. I think they shut down the PS3 store.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Which is like, why? Does it really cost that much to keep it up? Like, how many kids still play PS3 and they'll still buy stuff off the store? It doesn't make sense to me, because it can't be that much to run. Especially with lower users, but I would love to. I would download that digitally just to play it at this point. But
yeah, it is good.
But the thing is, the way I see it is like, I'll buy it for what, $10, right? Buy it for $10, then I love it. Then I have to buy it on complete in box because I love the game. So I'm like, I might as well just skip that and just go straight for the old school.
Yeah.
And I do like to play it. I like to play my PS1 games on a PS1 or a PS2.
It is magical having original hardware for sure.
Yeah, and the composite, I have the CRTs. It's just like the way, like when you miss out on games, you want to play them how you would have back in the day.
Yeah, 100%.
And let's congratulate Mumbo. Take a look at this TV he just got. This is the 40-inch Trinitron, and it's the XBR 700, I believe. Or XBR 800 or XBR 700? It's one of the two, because I know that, I think it's the 800 because they have a 900 that the only difference is, the only upgrade is, there's a digital output, meaning you could hook it up into your computer with a digital. And how are you liking that TV, dude? Because we're big CRT guys on this channel, and all of our friends, we love them.
I'm loving that thing. So it's funny, when I first hooked it up, whoever had it, they had it at probably like half the volume, and I'm just like, I loaded up, I think he'd like Smash Brothers or Wind Waker, and I was like, boom, I'm like, holy crap, I'm like, I gotta pump this down like, a quarter of the volume, like, holy crap, but
so
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. So the XBRs have like the upgraded sound.
Yeah.
So that's the one I just got. I got this one, the 30-inch, the 30 HS 120. This has upgraded sound, but it's not. It doesn't have subwoofers. Like yours has a sub. The XBRs have a sub. So like, remember when I was playing Dance Dance Revolution on that thing? It was like, and it was like it actually had bass. That's the best thing about the XBR sets. And with the bigger sets, is they like. The XBR just sounds incredible. I had the XBR 450 and that thing pumped. That was like the 32-inch. That one, dude, I got an insane trade for it, but I knew this would happen. I do miss that thing because
I warned you.
I know. But I have so many.
Yeah.
I have like one. I got a PVM in my room. I got this one. This is a Grail.
We're sitting on one underneath this couch.
Yeah, right? This is actually a modified Trinitron. Exactly. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to show them your TV. The thing's sick.
Sure.
So what's your second revamp?
Well, did you want to oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
Your second game. What was it again? Oh,
so the second one was Xenogears.
Right.
So the people want to know, what is your second choice?
So my game, along with a lot of other people's, it was teased that they were going to make a game in this franchise. Dude, you know what? It might be even 10 years now because there's jokes on it. Half-Life. For Half-Life 3, there was jokes. There was one of the guys, I forget the exact situation. One of the guys went to an interview and he had a little Half-Life 3 thing on and people were like, "Oh shit, they're announcing Half-Life 3. This is his little thing." And dude, it just never came, nothing else on it. And it's like
that bastard. Cue up the little troll meme which is like
yeah, exactly. Half-Life 3. You haven't started either of the Half-Lives yet?
No, I haven't tried them yet.
Okay, so that's one of the ones. So sometimes I recommend games and I want you to like them, and it's up in the air. But when I recommend Half-Life, you will like this one.
Nice.
This is just Half-Life is a raw shooter. Like you go in there, you pick up the pistol, the crowbar, and then that's it. Like you have to figure out. And dude, you have to put like it's old school. Like if you're like, dude, I really don't know how to get out of here. Sometimes you have to put like a barrel on this thing, and then it moves this up, and you're like, oh shit. Like it's so satisfying to progress level to level. And dude, the physics in Half-Life 1 and 2, for the years they came out, which is 1997 for the first one, 2004 for the second one, the physics were incredible. I actually played Half-Life 2 first, because I got the orange box with
nice.
Portal. And dude, I bought orange box for Portal, and then I ended up playing Half-Life 2 because it was on there. I was like, fuck,
isn't that the best?
I was like, fuck, this is way better than Portal. This is like, Portal's great, but dude, Half-Life is on a next level. And I just like Half-Life is one of those games. I'm gonna do some gameplay videos and stream Half-Life soon because every time I remember a friend of mine was playing it and she was on like the third level and I was just looking at it, I was like, damn, I gotta play Half-Life again. Like it's just a unique play. It's the only game that I could confidently say it might be better than Halo story-wise, like the campaign-wise. And that's
pretty
like,
brave.
That's, like that might sound blasphemy coming from me because everyone knows I'm a huge Halo fan. And I love the story. Granted, I do play the hardcoreness of Halo. I do like the competitive aspect, but the first Halo 1, dude, campaign Halo 1, come on. There's not much better than that. But if there is anything better than that, it's Half-Life 2.
Nice.
I wouldn't even say Half-Life 1. Half-Life 1 is incredible. You got to play it. But I don't think Half-Life 1 campaign is better than Halo. But Half-Life 2, and you know why I'm comfortable saying with that? Other than I think it's just like, dude, you play Half-Life 2, you're like, fuck, dude, this is the most raw shooter you'll ever play. And the creativity, dude, it's not like a big spoiler. It's one of the weapons. One of the weapons is a gravity gun, right? And then you're going, and there's these zombies, and you're going through a sawmill. So you pick up saw blades, and they start spinning, and you shoot, and it just chunks them in half, and you're like, dude, 2004? That was like pre-Gears of War, doing that kind of like hardcore shit.
Nice.
So yeah, Half-Life 2, it might even be better than Halo. And the reason, I obviously went to town talking about it as I usually do. The reason why I'd be okay saying it's a little bit better than Halo story is because Half-Life doesn't have a multiplayer. So overall, you can still consider Halo a better game because the reason Halo was a staple is because it's 10 out of 10 campaign and 10 out of 10 multiplayer. That's rare in first-person shooters. Usually, it's just awesome single player and they don't even have a multiplayer, or they have a great multiplayer and the story's just like there. You know, like they didn't put effort into it because they made it play it like a sport. But Halo has both. That's why I'm okay with saying Half-Life 2 campaign is probably a better game than it is. Like objectively, if I'm taking my own like obsession with Halo out of it, objectively Half-Life 2 is a better campaign. But overall, you can give it to Halo because it has a sick multiplayer and it has that second aspect, which Half-Life did. There was some like mod or something you could do, but it didn't pick up. It wasn't made for it. Totally different.
Nice.
So we each did 2.
Yep.
We have one more total, right? Do you have one more?
Yeah, I got one more, and I got an honorable mention.
Okay, so you have one more and an honorable. Okay, so I guess we'll do a couple more because like yours will be 5.
Because I know you people want some more, so we're gonna give the people what they want.
Yeah. So then let's jump right into it. What's number 3?
Okay, so my next one, because I know Nintendo's making some moves with DK. Can we get another DK64?
Ooh.
You know, I've heard some rumors that like Activision, whoever, was going to make this awesome looking open world DK where he's like going around on vines, and one of the guys was like, you know, I like that, but like his bare feet are going to go on the vines, friction, all that. Like, why don't we put something into that like also looks cool, but also makes it a little bit more believable? So he's like, what if we slap some banana peels on his feet so that as like a buffer when he's going down the vines? And I'm like, please make this happen. Like, we got Tropical Freeze, which was like, I think like 2016 or whatever. Awesome 2D game, but it's like, you see what's happening with like Kirby Forgotten World and like the Mario games with 3D. Like, can we get another 3D DK? Make it happen, Nintendo. Make me spend the $70 for an open world DK. You know what I'm saying?
So, you son of a B, you named 3 series that I've never played. I've actually never played the DK on 64.
Oh, dude, it's so fun. Like,
I tried it again recently, and it didn't like pull me in, but like you and a couple other friends, they love it. So it's like I do got to give it a chance. I want to get a physical copy, which those aren't
it's
30,
not
40
bad.
bucks probably. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't played the DK. Now I should get that because I've been expanding my N64 collection a little bit as of late.
Yeah.
I think the last game I got was like Load Runner 3D, which is awesome. Play Load Runner 3D on 64. It's a cheap game and it's awesome. But yeah, sweet.
So I will say, obviously with DK64, anybody who's played it, the collectibles with that was obnoxious. Like, more is not better. It definitely has some flaws, but my God, is that game fun. Like, you get all these, you get like all these extra new Kongs. So you get DK Diddy, and then you got Tiny Kong, who's new to the franchise, Chunky Kong, who's new to the franchise, and my boy, if you know, you know,
K. Rool.
Lanky Kong.
Oh, Lanky Kong.
Yeah, well, I like how with K. Rool they did a different style. So like anybody who's played DKC, he's got that typical like kind of goofy villain. With this one, they went with kind of like I can't remember the name of it was like the Claw from Inspector Gadget. He's like, I have to get those Kongs, and it just shows his hand going like this, and he's got like the little crocodile, and he's just like, you idiots, like slapping around his guys. But like one of the big selling points I like about this game is earning new moves. So like you go around, you pick up the coins and the bananas, which is obnoxious because it's like a different flavor for each Kong, and you can't get like Chunky Kong's bananas with DK. But dude, it's so fun going up to like Funky Kong, and he's like decked out like a old school army guy, and he's like, yeah, let me set you up with a gun, and you get like this like coconut gun, or you got Chunky Kong's like
all right, I'll
pineapple bazooka. Like, it's got some major flaws, but if you can look past that, it's a very fun DK game. But enough about that. I want to hear what your next choice is.
That's good. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's another sign for me that it's like it's one I got to play.
Yeah.
And I get the whole stream set up at my new place now, so streaming's good to go. So maybe a Donkey Kong 64 Extreme.
I'd love to see that
next couple months, and then we'll make some clips, and it'll be a good time. So for my third one,
I feel like usually you have like a couple on deck because sometimes I'm like, I only have a couple, and you're like, well, I have 7.
Okay, so I got one.
Okay.
This is an interesting choice. It's going to make sense to you, but also, I'll just explain it. So, Perfect Dark. So Perfect Dark is the game that anybody who played it knows it's better than GoldenEye. You know, no offense, I love GoldenEye, but come on, man, it's better. It has all the stuff GoldenEye had, and then more and more levels and aliens. Fuck. Perfect Dark is one of the best and most unique shooters because it was right, dude. Perfect Dark was when it shifted. So it was golden. It was like, you know, like early shooters. Like first of all, there was like Doom, Quake, and like Duke Nukem. That like 3D, but mostly really 2D. And then you get GoldenEye, and then Perfect Dark was like the elite of shooters before Halo, and then the modern Call of Duty and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Halo came out first. No, okay, so Call of Duty 3, I don't remember when that came out, but 4 was the one that really people started to play Call of Duty. So the transition of GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, and then Halo. Perfect Dark was that like it really like it took what GoldenEye was and it flipped it and it made it like more advanced and everything, and then it made it so that things like Halo could fly. Because it was futuristic, it had the aliens, it had the alien weaponry, it had the amazing multiplayer. So did GoldenEye, of course. But the multiplayer that in Perfect Dark, it also had the target range. Perfect Dark was crazy. And the reason I bring up this series, and some people might be like, yo, there was a new Perfect Dark announced, which there was a couple years ago. But from what I've heard, it's stale, and nothing's been made of it whatsoever. They announced a teaser years ago, and I don't know if it was scrapped or put on a giant halt, but we were supposed to get I don't remember the dates. I think we were supposed to get news by 2021, or they announced it in 2021. I don't remember, but either way, it's 2024, and there's been nothing on it. And I remember hearing there's this girl I follow. Guys, check out Fossler Fur on YouTube. Her videos are literally awesome. She's obsessed with Perfect Dark. Biggest Perfect Dark fan in the world. Her videos are great. And I'm pretty sure I watched it in one of her videos that there was some sort of scrapping of it or it putting on an indefinite hold. There was something that I learned about it that it was like, it's not coming out, basically. Like, unless something happens that it's gonna happen, if that makes sense. But right now, it's not actively being worked on, which is sad because Perfect Dark, in my opinion, out of all the old school shooters, even Quake and Unreal, because those have newer titles. Perfect Dark doesn't. The last Perfect Dark came out in like 2006, I think. It was 2006 on the Xbox 360, which is 0. And that one, sorry Fossler if you're watching this, I didn't like Perfect Dark 0. I thought it was okay compared to the first one.
Yeah.
I think the first Perfect Dark is one of the best games ever. Perfect Dark 0 is cool in its own way, but I think if they did a modern day Perfect Dark and they made it awesome story, campaign, if they still had the bots... Mm-hmm. They still had the bot option.
I do like that. They
still had the challenges. They had the shooting range. And then they did an awesome multiplayer and campaign together. Perfect Dark could be like this grail first-person shooter that's not made anymore. All we have right now is Apex and Fortnite and like Call of Duty. And it's just like, dude, you know, they're okay. But like, they're nothing to write home about. They're all basically like a similar formula, and I think they're all fun in their own way, but they're not like, man, I love that game. You know, they're not like, they're just what's happening. They're like pop music of shooters. Yeah. They're the pop music. They're what everybody's playing. They know how to play. It's all the same formula. It's a thing, and it hasn't innovated in a while. Fortnite brought it there, and I do like Fortnite, but it brought everyone a battle royale, and that's what it is now. And that's what it is until something else breaks the mold. And I think if they did it right with Perfect Dark and they marketed it correctly, they sponsored pros to play it and compete in it, they could fucking grasp the first-person shooter genre and flip it on its head. So nice. I'm going to go Perfect Dark because that newer one that they announced, I'm fairly certain it's been scrapped. And I'll leave it in the description. I'll clarify that, or I'll put a note up right here on what's actually happening with it. But I just remember hearing, I believe from Foster, that it was like not terminated, but it was just, hey, well, it's like you know when you do that with a video game, you buy one, you're like, yeah, I'll play it later, and then you never really play it.
Yeah,
that's from my understanding, that's what happened. So I'm gonna go Perfect Dark for sure.
So it's funny that you say how, and I think this is pretty much like the general consensus. How everybody's like, GoldenEye's great, and you're like, well, have you played Perfect Dark? And people are like, oh no, we haven't. Like, to me, GoldenEye almost kind of feels like when you watch those teen movies, and it's like everybody's drooling over like the hot chick of their class, and then there's Perfect Dark, who's like the geeky chick who's low-key hotter and cooler, but like nobody gives her a chance because she got the big fucking bottle cap size glasses and the hair's pulled back. And then like some people are like, oh, she just took her hair off. Like, wow, that's way better than that other chick there. And that like that's kind of where Perfect Dark is stuck. It's like only a select few people have seen this geeky chick who's actually smoking hot.
And then after high school, the GoldenEye hot chick gets fat, and then the Perfect Dark chick gets even hotter, loses the bottle caps. That was good, but yeah,
and then that's
a good analogy.
Just disappears forever, and GoldenEye's just like,
it's like the evolved mind. Like,
hey, I'm still here. I'm still the favorite.
Still the prom queen. Want to play some co-op? Yeah, but no shit. I love GoldenEye. It's just like it's just because Perfect Dark came out and it's the same. Like it plays the same. It just has more stuff. I just can't help. Whenever someone says GoldenEye, I'm like, wait, do you know about Perfect Dark? But yeah. So what's your honorable mention?
Okay, so my honorable mention, it's got to be High on Life. That game. Now, granted, it's only been a couple of years, so a lot of people could say, you know what, like give them some time to make a polished sequel. But that game was awesome.
About that game with somebody.
Wicked fun first-person shooter. Had some really cool guns. I loved that like Rick and Morty style comedy that was in there. Like
that was really refreshing.
Yeah, amazing game. Like, please, for the love of God, make a sequel to this game.
Yeah. Okay, that's an honorable mention. I get it because, yeah, that is still pretty new. I think.
Yeah, because I think it was like 2021, 2022. So one could say
it was definitely 2022.
Yeah, so one could say like, you know what, it hasn't been long enough for them to make a solid sequel. And I'm like,
that's how much you like.
Please, please make a sequel. Like if anybody who's in charge of that, like make a sequel, please.
That's what I like, and I like right next to sci-fi and futuristic shooters. I like the comedy sci-fi shooter because that still was sci-fi. Dude, the weapons that were alive and shit, dude, that's cool. That's freaking cool. When that came out, I was like, dude, this, and it came on Game Pass. I didn't even need to buy it. I was like, awesome.
I would have loved a physical copy, though. I'm sure you're in the same boat.
Oh yeah, I would definitely buy one if Limited Run Games does those. Have you seen those?
Fuck yes.
They make physical copies of games that aren't physical.
Yeah, they make 5 copies and then jack up the price.
Oh, do they?
Son of a bitch!
Damn pricks. Okay. I need an honorable mention.
I'm surprised. I figured you had a couple ready to go.
Okay, I got an honorable mention.
Okay.
/ it's still in there. Because I didn't think of it till just now. Time Splitters.
Ah, dude, I was thinking of that. When you were talking about Perfect Dark, I'm just like...
Because Time Splitters.
I'm trying to remember now. I think like... Either there was a couple of people that were on Perfect Dark that moved over and did Time Splitters, or I'm pretty sure it was at least Inspire. But yes, please, for the love of God,
they did. They had some of the Perfect Dark team was on Time Splitters. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, some of the team was. That's why, in a way, they both are a very unique shooter. If you like one, you like the other typically. But yeah, I would say Time Splitters because we get Time Splitters 1 and 2. Then you get the Future Perfect, which I actually haven't played much of. I need to get a copy. Remember, I almost got a sealed copy from this guy. He blocked me on eBay because I asked him to go down $10. So I had him buy it. He buys it, and then the guy cancels on him. It was so weird. He's like, actually, I don't have it. But he was just talking to me about selling it. It was really weird. But yeah, I had a sealed copy. It was like, what, $55 or something. It wasn't too bad. And yeah, I wanted a sealed copy of Future Perfect, but all that aside, I think modern day Time Splitters, if not Perfect Dark, Time Splitters. If not Time Splitters, Perfect Dark. I'll literally do either of them. If both of them came out, you'd never see us again. We wouldn't do videos. We'd be playing them all the time. You'd see us online.
Dude, so it's funny how Perfect Dark, there was another game in the works and then fell off. Because, I don't know if maybe those people just brought that bad juju over to Time Splitters. But allegedly, Time Splitters 4 was like gonna happen, and just like Perfect Dark, it fell through the cracks. And I'm just like, son of a bitch.
It's so disappointing. It's probably all for like relatively similar reasons, like maybe like the Dreamcast, the Sega Dreamcast, and the Atari Jaguar were the last of the consoles. Maybe they failed because of similar reasons. Same with the game. Like they're very similar. Time Splitters and Perfect Dark are very similar. So maybe there's internal challenges of, I don't think it was development, but I would assume it's either they're worried about getting funding for it, or they're not, or the company's like, this isn't going to sell like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You know, so. But yeah, this was an awesome video. I'm glad we talked about some games and franchises that we think definitely need a reboot or a revamp, or just re-release the new ones in HD. Like that's not what we really want, but it's at least a holdover. If they did like a Time Splitters HD collection,
Oh my god,
that'd be freaking, and then made it online indefinitely, so you could play, me and you could play Time Splitters from my house, dude. That'd be cool. So that's bare minimum, but obviously we want all these franchises to, have life again, and hopefully they will. If any of the developers for any of these games are watching this, you know what to do.
make it so, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thanks, Mumbo, for coming out. Good video, man. Some more videos coming out. We get the whole new place set up. It's great. So thanks everybody for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.